You guys, it's me from that music video you just watched. My name's Betty, and I sing in the band Valkyrie's Fire, in case you didn't recognize me. Hey guys! How's it going?
What the hell?
Hello!
Oh my God, no way.
I hope everybody's having a great day today. Hello. I will admit right now that I don't look like Betty currently. Betty is a beautiful blonde. She has kind of cycled out the blue, which, as a former blue-haired girly, is the path. You know, eventually you cycle it out. It'll come back maybe. Like all rock stars, we have our signature looks and the things that we're remembered for and the looks that make their mark on society, that define us as badass rock queens. And to me, Betty's a blue-haired baddie, and I like blue-haired Betty. So I decided to pick the version of Betty that I like the most, which is blue hair Betty. Thank you, Betty, for being beauteous so that I could cosplay as you today. I was also really excited to do your makeup look. I know it's like hard to get it perfectly, but I did my best. And of course, the signature Betty corset top with the skirt combo. Boys, no peeking. Hello? I'm ready to rock out at a Valk show. Thank you, John. Hi, hello. I hope you guys are driving safe. I know that you are driving to your gig this weekend. This weekend? What day is it? Tuesday? It's just Tuesday. You look cool, but what did I miss? Yes, okay. As you know, we have different goals. Like you'll see right here that we have a sub-goal currently. So to get the community involved in achieving big milestones, a lot of streamers will have some kind of incentive. Whenever I get a sub-goal, the incentive is that I will dress up as the musical artist of their choosing. So whenever we hit our sub goal, I will come into stream and say, hey, what suggestions do you guys have for the next cosplay? Then I put a poll up in the community with all of everyone's suggestions, and then we vote. And Betty won the vote for me to cosplay as Betty, which was my first ever sub goal achieved ever. That's what we're doing here today, and I couldn't be more excited. I also really want to have Betty on and maybe some other band members from Valkyrie's Fire to do an actual interview during my next round of interviews, which it sounds like they might be open to doing. So I was excited to learn a little bit about the band, but it's really, I think, like surface level information. And you know me, if you've seen my interviews, I want a little bit more. I want a lot more. So I was able to get a little bit of background information from John, so thank you, John, for working with me on that. Let's go. All right, let's get into it, shall we? Okay, let me tell you guys about Valkyrie's Fire. Hi, my name is Laila Melodie, and welcome to my Valkyrie's Fire deep dive. This, in fact, is the current lineup of Valkyrie's Fire. Valkyrie's Fire was founded and established by bassist Dave Hale. Valkyrie's Fire is a symphonic power metal band based out of Nashville, Tennessee. The band was started by bassist Dave Hale in 2020. Initially began as just a vision that he was already creating the visuals and the graphics for, logos, all that stuff. He was looking for bandmates that were also passionate about symphonic power metal. Here is the current lineup. You have Adam Sanders. Adam is the other lead vocalist besides Betty and also writes the music. Ryan Matroka, the drummer. Joey, he is the guitar player, but also trained in piano. And you have Salem, the newest addition to the crew, Salem Belladonna, and she plays cello, the keys, and she sings. Total package. Another baddie that we could do a deep dive on. Valkyrie's Fire's very first show was December 15th, 2023 at the Exit Inn for the Misfit Toy Ball. Their influences include Nightwish, Epica, Within Temptation, Tarja Turunen, very important, Delane, and Battle Beast. Their lyrical themes often exclusively draw from Norse mythology. And they're signed to Eclipse Records, which has been their label through their debut EP, Ascension, which has been very positively received in the symphonic metal world. Ascension was named EP of the Year in 2024. And Valkyrie's Fire was named Best Breakthrough Artist in 2024. As much as I loved learning about the entire band Valkyrie's Fire, I'm really here to talk to you about our queen, Miss Bettie Floyd. Oh my God! What a baddie. As you can see here, many, many different aesthetic styles. I went with this Bettie right down here. The makeup, the hair, just my favorite version of her, to be honest. Bettie is a trained soprano, mezzo-soprano from Georgia. As a vocalist, I can tell you it's really common to be placed into two categories because most people think they're a soprano, but they have wider range than that. And then when you get into actual choral music, your choral director wants more than just 100 sopranos. But I know from listening to Bettie's music, she definitely has the range of both a soprano and a mezzo-soprano. She just can get pretty high up there too. I mean, she's in a high range. She joined forces with Valkyrie's Fire in June 2023, and that was really when Valkyrie's Fire kind of completed their lineup. So by that time, they were solid in what their sound was going to be and the direction that they were going. Dave Hale, the bass player, found her through Bandmix and found her social media, was checking her out, and sent her a message. Like, hey, we're looking for a vocalist. You seem to be what we're looking for. Bettie at first thought it was a scam because who would be messaging an unknown singer from Georgia? But she decided to take a leap of faith, and I think her and the band, from what I've heard, are both forever grateful that she did. Tarja Turunen from Nightwish has been her biggest musical influence throughout her life. And when Bettie was a young teenager, sadly, she was bullied. Super, super relatable. And she would listen to Nightwish every day to escape the painful world around her. Oh, it literally broke my heart reading those words, but something I can absolutely relate to. I was bullied a lot when I was a teenager. 13 is when it really started. But what I loved is that Bettie didn't let this stop her. Oh no. And with a role model like Tarja Turunen, how could you be stopped? For those of you that are unfamiliar, some of the struggles that Tarja endured through her life. She was dismissed from Nightwish very suddenly back in 2005 after a concert. The band issued an open letter attacking her character in a very cruel and public dismissal. Additionally, Tarja suffered a stroke in 2018 that spiraled into a deep fear of death that loomed overhead for about a year, which forced her to slow down and reduce stress from her life. So the fact that Tarja never gave up and cultivated a successful solo career really just made Bettie love her even more. She joined a choir, she saved up to get vocal training, and she practiced her little ass off so that she could sing like Tarja. She began her vocal training in her teenage years through private lessons, and here we are today. Bettie's a vocal nerd. She loves learning and practicing new techniques, and she's found her forever home with Valkyrie's Fire. So first of all, let's hear it for Bettie's journey. We love that for her, a thriving queen. And to top it all off, I just wanted to end with my favorite Valkyrie's Fire song, which is Warrior of the Night. Let's hear it one more time for Bettie and Valkyrie's Fire. I told you she gets up there. I was going to say I stopped myself, but I feel like she might be a spitzo soprano, but I didn't want to get too crazy. But either way, an absolute fucking queen. And I just want to say a huge thank you to John for blessing me with Valkyrie's Fire's music. Big thank you to Dave and everybody from Valkyrie's Fire for all the hard work you guys put in. I see all the awards that you're getting. I see all the shows that you're driving all over the country for. It's really fucking cool to watch. And of course, thank you to Bettie. Extremely talented vocalist. As a also fellow music nerd, choir nerd, singer, I appreciate everything that you're doing. I appreciate women being badass metal chicks, and you are absolutely doing that spot justice. So thank you for letting me cosplay as you today. That's it. Thank you guys for listening to my little presentation about Valkyrie's Fire. Let's go. I'm gonna be a symphonic metalhead myself, you know? I'm working on it. I just gotta find the right bands for me. Besides Valkyrie's Fire. Really, it's the jaw-dropping vocals that do it, you know? So, without further ado...
Wish I could sing like that.
There it is.